Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got just so Shaheen, that's Shaheen on the phones. Everybody knows. So just so she knows, we've got Andriana, Nancy, Jill, Carol, Leanne, me, Ushma, and you, Shaheen.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Hey, everybody. My God, it's been weeks. It feels like such a long time from the last time we talked. It's been a really wild couple of weeks. Well, it's been a wild month. I think you saw my post on Facebook. My God, this month has just been like, what? The whole thing's been off the charts. Bizarre, weird, wonderful, wild. Nothing I would have ever expected to see in my current, you know, it's like, still can't believe it. So, but it's all good. I'm feeling great. You know, we're clearing the house like mad. We've taken 10 trips to the charity shops with big loads of stuff. We're still clearing out and all that kind of stuff. We're going to sell all the furniture and everything. So Centaur and I watched this TV show called Homes by the Med yesterday, and they did Costa del Sol, which is where we're going. And we were looking at it going, oh yeah, baby, this is it. Turquoise seas and sunshine and beaches, and you know, I'm like, okay, I'm up for it. This is it. This is good. So yeah, I'm feeling really
Claire, do you speak any Spanish for either of you?
not a word.
Oh, really?
It's fine. I was out there for months. It was fine.
We're going to an English-speaking area, like a community of English-speaking people. So I will learn some Spanish, but you know, enough to get me by with things. But I think we'll manage. So, yeah, so it's
should
good.
be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, really neat. So look, let's just all line up first before we get any further into anything. Okay, so take a deep breath. Get in the power of the energies that are flowing right now. I think there's big energies flowing in at the moment. Seems like it. And call that power to you and through you. And then do whatever there is, the big work to do. Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Ooh, feels good. Wow. Centaur and I both woke up sweating on Sunday morning, so over Saturday night. And when I tuned in, there was a new energy downloading in that was about remodeling us into the new race of us still, you know, that we're still being remade, refashioned, remodeled. And everything to me feels like this new reality. I think this is what it's all about. There's this brand new reality coming in that's very different from anything that's been before. And oh God, it just feels so kind of sparkling all the time. So that's what I got. Felt great. Anybody else? What'd you get?
Well, Carol, Jill, and I had gotten together this morning, and we're doing some stuff, and it's like we did. Carol was saying how everything feels completely new, and we are doing each other, and they did see me being completely remade, and I felt like that all that was different. So I'm interested in seeing what shows up as the different being. So yeah, just what you said is happening. And so tonight I was just checking in and you know, amping it up and just playing with the energies that the body now houses. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what that's going to look like.
Super.
We went to a wedding, not this weekend, but the weekend before, and it was in a really beautiful place of nature. And Catherine sent through text to Nancy, and Nancy sent it on to us, that apparently, and they got married on the 15th of May, and apparently on the 15th of May, there was a huge influx of energies that would change the shape of the world as we knew it, apparently, according to this thing that came through from one of the people that Catherine knows. And when I tuned in just now, it feels, there's an incredible amount of light with it. There's an incredible amount of like intensity of shifting in that light. And there's almost a regality in the space that it provides, so that it's a generosity in upholding our becoming of our sovereign beings, so to speak.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I got quite a download of power coming through, and it was more of that, because I've been in much more of that sparkly creational energy, but just now when we tuned in, it's this power came through, and it was that no more bullshit kind of power, and I can still feel it kind of coming through into my body. Yeah.
I felt that surge too, of love and light energy, really a big thrust of it. So,
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, when we tuned in just a few minutes ago, I felt this shaft of light came from up there nowhere, like, and the word that came to me was going through me like a skewer, like a shish kebab, right through me from head to toe, and then it goes right down to Mother Earth and anchored there. And as we're speaking now, I could feel as though whatever is coming in, when something moves through you, you have got this surging energy that expand, contract. And it's a funny feeling. Mm-hmm. But, I've been having a lot of different experiences since my birthday, which was last Monday, 16. It seems different, like the energy all around me is different. Whatever is coming, I don't know.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
oh, happy birthday.
But those energies came in on the 15th, like Catherine has said.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And your birthday was the 16th, so it's supposed to have been all different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Sunday I was at home in Prescott. It's my mom and dad's anniversary too. So yeah, you get that. Interesting. Anybody else? Jill? Carol?
I was getting disturbed a few times. That's why I had to go on mute. But I just really went with you and tuned into the power of the energy, and I still sort of feel the energy buzzing through me now. Yeah, when I ask what it is, it's just a frequency, so I haven't gone further with it than that.
Super.
And I just felt more blissful energies than true power. And I did see a planet, and I got no words for it. And when I asked what it's about, I got nothing. It's just, yeah. So I'm not sure what that's about.
Okay. Do you know?
Not helpful, Vera. Not helpful.
Do you know? I was as we were all talking there, I got thinking about the body. We've been working on the body a lot, and I think I read something the other day. There was this man who was 236 years old. They were sharing it on Facebook, and he was saying the secrets. I didn't even read it. But then I saw something else that said the current life expectancy is about to go up to 120. I thought, what? I don't know whether that's made up or whether that's true or not, but you can see, even at 70, 80, people are living full and happy and healthy and fit, and there's no reason our life expectancy couldn't go to some extremes now, which I think is part of what we're doing, is that power that comes through us. But I do think, even for myself, I have to keep running it through me pretty regularly. I could see how you can easily fall into something else, like the norm as opposed to the exceptional. And so I wonder if we could just do some body stuff, just generally, like for everybody and for ourselves, and see what wants to happen with the new body and the aging stuff. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Wow, that was exciting. It was like when I reached out to the new body, almost like this. There was like templates waiting for us of different kinds of bodies. And the one that I chose was called the fire body. And it was like this high vitality, high creation, high everything. And of course that matches with my dragon stuff, So I kind of took on a fire body and then ran it all through me and let that affect like the kind of fire mind and that kind of thing. It was really cool. I didn't get what other kinds there were, but I'd be really interested to see what kind of different body types there are.
Actually, when you said that, I just got a flashback to an experience I had of that see-through body that just looked like the shape of a human body, but it was made out of, I don't know, it looked like glass because you could see through it, and there were all this like cosmic energy in it, and that energy had all different colors, and it was that energy that communicated with other beings. There was no verbal communication, it was just through the body. And there was a whole conversation going on, and everybody could understand each other, but there was no actual verbal communication.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
But while we were doing that, what I had come to me was that part of what we have to work on now, or what we were actually, or maybe it was just me, I don't know, I didn't ask that question, was the collective unconscious.
Okay, I'm up for that.
And so I just found, I just asked for an experience of what would we be doing, and it was what I'm actually doing with myself for the last few days, which was just lots of times during the day, or even if I have something physical going on, I amp up my own divine light and put it into whatever I'm doing. And that was, so I said, oh, I didn't even think about it or ask anything. I just did it for the collective unconscious. And so this column of pure white light just came right to the center of what the whole piece that was being worked on. And at the top of it grew one white light leaf.
Wow.
As if we're growing a new energy.
I was thinking of the light body as well. I was, I've read so much about the light body and how people are literally living on sunlight in different parts of the world. And and there is this connection to cosmic energy, as you said, to really boost physicality as well as that unconscious link. Yeah. And also the link to rejuvenation and trusting the entire physical body with life force energy.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Well, after we finish, all sharing about the body piece, Carol, let's go back and do the collective unconscious. It's funny, as you were talking, I thought, so much has completed for me in the last month. So many pieces. It's when I think about it that I almost wonder if I have any unconscious now. So it's really like the woman from the Shambhala in Glastonbury died. That was one completion. I met this friend of mine from when I was a little kid. And we were good friends, and I met her again when I went home. And we got to talk for about a couple of hours. It was really great. And so I've stopped having dreams about her because I was having all these dreams about her before. She was the one who came and sat in my bed and said, "Your mother's gone." That's so weird. But things like that. There's all this stuff from the past that's just been completing. Even my mom going. It was so funny. My brother and my niece were cleaning out my mom's house yesterday. And my niece came across this picture that I painted when I was 6 years old. She posted it on Facebook. And it says, "I want to be a policewoman." And there's this stick figure woman with a gun pointing at the guy with his hands up. It's like my whole life is in completion somehow. And I just got rid of half my clothes. I could get rid of the other half for that matter. I know I'm going to start fresh. There's this completion is happening for me when I think about it that relates, Carol, to that collective unconscious, because as I'm thinking about it, I wonder if I have any left at the moment.
I actually didn't pick it as an individual collective unconscious. Because I didn't question it, I just did whatever. I thought it was more of the collective unconscious on the planet that we're talking about. Everybody's waking up now.
Yeah.
I thought it was more about that as opposed to an individual, but I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm talking about it, I'm more pointing to that something's happening. And I never think it's just me it's happening to. So I'm wondering if, are the rest of you experiencing anything like that where you're getting this completion almost of your human self happening? Anything else?
Yeah, I can tune into that. Yeah, I can get that. And in my family life, my dad and brother's business is wrapping up now on the 28th of May, and that's a huge completion for them as well. It's a big thing. So yeah, I can see it everywhere. But I like that idea of the collective unconscious and looking at yourself and seeing. I just didn't think of it.
Yeah. So anybody else, body or collective unconscious?
There was work that I've been doing with people, and everybody seems to be having slight issues with their body. It's almost as if there's so much light and life force coming into the body to shape it newly that it needs to kind of nestle into the body somehow to fit, kind of thing, because people are having little body issues, sort of backaches and headaches and things like that. And I sort of think, and then when you energetically work with them, it all disappears, it all goes away. And so it's interesting, it's almost like it needs to fit more like the points need to match up or something. I don't know what that is. But that
Now-
body that you experienced about translucent body, Carol, I had a similar daytime daydream experience, oh gosh, many years ago now. And it was interesting because it was like that translucent body that was filled with light, and you would move without walking, and you would, like I remember going through a stream and not getting wet, and going through the cold and not feeling cold, and thinking, and then you're there. And it was like a body that was able to respond to your desires of where you want to be, and what and not feel the elements to that degree as well. It was really interesting.
Mm.
Well, when I do work with it, what I've been doing lately is calling the physical body into resonance with that our other energies, our higher energies that we're working with now all the time. So I keep calling my physical body into resonance with that. But I find I've just been exploring, your own divine light, whatever that is for everybody. And so I've been playing with my physical body as well as with other things. But with the physical body, if I've got a headache or an ache or anything that I've got anywhere, it's like dialing it up. I go to a 10, which is 100%. So I just tell it to go to a 10. And it might take a few minutes to go to a 10 because it's working through the energy. But anytime I've used it on anything in the physical body, it changes the energy. So if I have a headache, the headache just lifts out. So you're using your own power, your own, your essence. I call it my divine light. And it just seems to change the energy.
Beautiful. Yeah.
We're not doing I had, well, it wasn't frequency, it was something very everyday stuff. Those that have worked in a hospital will understand, or in the laboratory, what a centrifuge is. So you take tubes of blood, and you put it in a machine, like you could put 100 tubes in the machine, and you spun it, and it actually separates, the serum from the cells. And for whatever reason, I keep getting this picture that I was actually spinning it, and it wasn't actually a test tube. It was actually a human in all those little slots that was spinning. And I don't know whether it's got to do with my work, because it's in the last couple of weeks I've been doing a lot, helping a lot of people through their addiction. Addiction to alcohol, addiction to cigarette smoking. Not so much as I choose not to work with drugs, and when I actually think about it, it's like separating what doesn't belong in the human body, in the physical body anymore, and just spun it out.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah. Wow. Have you had really good results with it?
I have very good results with quit smoking.
Fantastic.
Like 99%.
Yeah. That's super. Yeah. I had the feeling too, because I've said before, Santara and I are almost 90% organic at the moment. I have the feeling I need this pure foods right now for something. That so if I go off that, I can really tell. So it feels really important, as if the body needs that stuff to do something for itself. So yeah, really cool. Yeah. It's interesting about these different bodies, because light body, fire body. There's probably others, and I can see that. I can see how we, even as we're talking, how we make different choices to express ourselves. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really believe that everybody can do that. So, in that unconscious, awakening the unconscious. that we all have that power within us to be our own physicians, and it can be a really simple thing. It's but of course people don't believe that, or it wouldn't be something they think of exploring or having an experience of. But I really believe that is where we're going. Everybody will be able to do that and use their own energy to do it.
Yeah.
Until it becomes an automatic thing and you just don't get sick.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Because before the energy ever hits any aspect of your fields, whether it be as far out as you are, you'll pick it up like that, and you'll just amp up your energy, and it won't be there.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just talk for a minute, because Shaheen wants us to look at her son, Ali, who's not been well recently. And Shaheen, I want Nancy to talk for a minute, because Nancy's son was had leukemia. What, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Nancy?
Yeah, at least 5, I think.
Yeah, and I would like Nancy to talk with you, Shaheen, about how she was being with that, because I think my sense is when you ask the question, you come from major concern about him. And I know that Nancy never came from that place. And, you know, what Chad went through was quite extraordinary, and there were massive energies attached to it. Nancy, can you share with her how you related to that and what effect it had?
Well, I can see when I was mother. So Shaheen, it really you come from the mother, and even when you ask the question, which we can all relate to, you can see how you you are not empowering the situation or your son to be his greatest being, because his health actually lies more in his hands. And so I saw that with Chad. I saw when I was being mom, I was messing up the energetics with the worry and everything. And it took everybody in the network to, well, as soon as I saw that I actually had to step and be my big, we were greater beings 5 years ago, so to be the most I could be. And I saw as I could hold the space for him to find his own clarity and to move himself forward with whatever his intention was in getting sick in the first place. And so I held it very strongly. I used my power to hold the space that gave him freedom to do what he needed to do and whatever that looked like. So I think with you being the love and the light, the strength that you are, and like when I wrote that in the Facebook thing, my wish for you is that you could see yourself as we see you, because you could change everything in a moment by that belief in yourself. And so when you hold your whole community, so not just your family or your son, but you hold your whole community, or then the whole planet, in the space of the light, that everybody will get the clarity they need to move forward out of what they are in and move forward to where they want to go. So you are out of any outcome of everybody. You're giving everybody complete freedom and the complete power codes to do so, to do powerfully what it is that they need to do. And none of the worry is in it, none of the mum is in it. You are just the being of light that has come forth to shed light on everything, to bring people to the love that they are.
Because Nancy even said to Chad at the time, "It's okay if you choose to go," didn't you, Nancy?
Yeah.
She didn't say, "You've got to get better and I'm going to bring my power to it." She didn't say that. She said, whatever the biggest work is, I'm up for it with you. I'm partnering you, and let's do it.
Yeah. Well, he was afraid that he was going to be, the doctor had told him he might be disabled at the end of his treatment. And Chad would not want to live being disabled. And that's where the conversation came up. that I would help him to go if he didn't want to stay around. If he was disabled and didn't want to live, I would help him to go. So
Yeah.
that it's just whatever he wanted, whatever he was up to, that was what I was up for. And I got out of the picture.
Yeah.
So that's the same. And that empowers them. The more you can empower him and you trust him to know what he's doing, there's where you feel better, he feels better, and the whole situation changes.
Yeah.
You know, he's not willing. He's, you know, I have a very strong sense that yeah, it is me. Because since he's been little, I have been very, I don't know what is going on. I've been very, yeah, I have been very paranoid. In fact, when he was born, you know, he was getting a lot of cold. He was just maybe 2 weeks old, and the doctor had given me saline drops for his nose. And there was a similar bottle of my either eardrops or, you know, something like that. And when, you know, I was in that daze when I woke up in the morning and he was not breathing very well. So I picked up the eardrops and I put them in his nose. And that really, he started choking and turning blue. And luckily my husband came and just whacked him and called, you know, 911, the emergency line. And he was fine after that was thrown out of the system.
See, if we're going to work with anything, it's going to be you, not him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because working with him is a waste of time if you're in a mother concerned place, because that's not the place you can ever shift it from. And you got to come out of that mother concerned place. You really have to. It's similar to me with my mom going. You know, I never got into daughter losing mom mode. I just never got into it. I did have a few tears now and again, and I really felt for my brother and I felt for my mom what she was going through, but it was not my job to engage in that with them. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You can't let yourself be pulled into something other than that which doesn't have power.
Very true. So he always tells me, Mom, do you realize, I mean, and he tells me sometimes quite directly that you are creating all this stuff with Dad, which, by the way, is a whole lot better for Lara.
Good.
You know,
for you.
yeah, but I still am suspicious. You know, he keeps asking me, "Are you happy? Are you happy?" And do you know that, you know, and this all, his leg stuff started when he walked for 5 miles when his dad was really,
yeah. See,
you know.
Okay, so we're just going to line up with you, not him, not your husband, you, to be the full power of you to deal with anything that comes up. And you've got to deal with it from your power, not from any place else. And if you're aware of that, you can turn this out miraculously. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to line up with Shaheen and give her a blast of power. Okay? Here we go. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I saw this kind of story unfold as I was being with you, Shaheen. It was like the God power came to earth and sat in you, and then your son or your husband sat or did these things, and you went into mum mode, and the God power had no place to dwell, so it stepped out. And I was like, what? That just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's the human self letting go of the God power, which would solve everything. It just made no sense whatsoever. So I was like pinning you to the wall and saying, are you going to choose to be the God power or not? We're like, okay, I'll do it. So it's really cool. I thought that was fun. So what the rest do you get?
Yeah, one thing that I think that I'm finding really helpful in my own life, it's something we learned from this guy, Matt Kahn. I don't know if you've heard of him, but it's just like all the stuff that arises in your life that right now you're not liking and you're resisting, just love it more, not less. It's so simple. Mm-hmm. So, your son, everything in your life that as you're coming up and you're having all this, if you could just love it more, so you're creating that force within yourself more, and the situation, you are loving it and lighting it up way more instead of going into the resistance or not liking it. And just try that in everything that you do, and it just changes fundamentally a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes me already feel a lot brighter. And also, that the power that you were speaking of, Philera, and you too, Nancy, I felt I felt really soaking, like I was soaking in that power of standing on my own. And then the thought came to me, where does surrender come into all of this? And do I just not do anything other than just being in that power? Nothing I felt that it was way above where I was, and on the physical plane, looking for doctors, etc., etc. Should I not do anything about that?
No, you should stand in the power and do whatever there is that's right to do. So it might include finding a doctor. It might include just being with him energetically. It might, in my view, it was like if somebody said to me, "Oh, I'm sick because you did these things," I would say, "Get a life." I would say, like, you're not going to blackmail me with that. No way. That's one view of it. There's also, thanks for I get it. I'm in control here. I'm the source of this. So you could learn from them. They're giving you a gift. You could choose many perspectives, but none of my perspectives would be to be majorly concerned. Yeah. That's the human self. And we are at work on completing the human self. It's one of the things we just had that conversation about. So we're completing the human self and learning to live as the infinite self, the God self. And that includes not letting others get a say in the source of your power. No way do others get a say in your power. And when you're in that power, then you have access to many, many, many things to do. And so there is a surrender in a way to the power, but then the power informs you of what acts to take and what's right to do. You won't find those from the human concern place. You will only make him worse. That's the only outcome you can do from that place. You cannot make it better from human concern, because actually what you're doing is putting onto him a matrix of energetics that is, oh, my poor baby, he doesn't have the resources to do anything. How can I help? So you've just trapped him in the illness. That's what happens. So instead, like Nancy said, you have to stand back and go, He is a sovereign God being in his own right. I activate the God power in him and choose to allow the miraculous to flow through him for whatever outcome is meant to be. You see the difference? Yeah, cool. Anybody else want to share anything that you've got about that?
Thanks.
I actually got a funny one. I actually saw Shaheen given the honor of holding the torch. You know, like an Olympic torch where you have to run around the stadium. And she entered the stadium with this torch. But her focus was not on what she was appointed to do. She kept looking back at whatever she was looking back, and the whole and she wasn't doing what she should be doing. So the light was like flickering. And the whole stadium, including me, was telling her, whatever is behind you, let it go. You know, leave it, let it go. It will take care of itself. But you were, you were so intent on controlling. And that was, yeah, the control freak, that you want to hold the torch and you want to control what's behind you. So you need to make a decision, you need to let go. And the whole stadium cheering you on, let it go, let it go, let it go, it will shine.
Very true.
But you were still hesitating to run around the stadium when it is your time to shine, because by you shining, right, and light up the whole space, everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
So you need to let go. And this is part of what I'm trained to do, helping people to let go, because when you hold on, the tension builds up in you, in the physical. When the tension builds up in you in the physical, unpleasant things happen. Yeah, not good thoughts comes out. So you create whatever is not there. Right?
Very true.
Whatever is not there, you create new stuff and make it happen. Because you're putting energy into things that wasn't there in the first place.
I can feel as you're talking,
Very true. Very
something's exploding from the inside. And I don't think it's just with Shaheen. It might be with all of us. It's that completion of the human self and the activation, the pure, powerful activation of the, I'll call it the infinite self, the God self.
Yes, I think it applies to the collective unconscious. By us being given the torch, it's our time to shine, but we keep looking back. Some of us cannot cut that tie. We're still, hanging on. And
So,
the message is,
how about
let go.
How about we do that work?
Well, my experience when I tuned into Shaheen was straight away the energy was just so absolutely beautiful, and I felt a really she's me or I'm her, like a real connection, and I really felt a great love for her. So she's got this beautiful energy, and it's such a powerful energy because it actually can transform anything. And so when I spoke to her from that space of like infinite being to infinite being, and the highest wisdom of each, and she started to settle into that and really expand her energy, what happened was that the whole heart space opened and just kept expanding and expanding her as a powerful being, and all of the other energy that is what's going on around her rushed in through that heart space and it just changed completely. So when she stands as that being, she still can be in her human life as her human loving mother that she is and do what she feels that she needs to do for everybody and anybody. But to stand in the power of it, the energy changes in her presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
You
Thank
and Shaheen.
Thank you
Carol,
so much.
Yeah, Carol, you and Shaheen are both powerful light people, like mega players in the light realms. That's why you would feel that resonance. Yeah. Oh yeah, I get that. Look, let's do the collective just the
Mhm.
completion of the human self, the activation, integration, whatever you want to call it, of the infinite God self. Okay? Yay! Let's go. Phooey. I didn't do any collective unconscious at all. I found myself choosing my God self, and I became the God of fire. That was really cool. But I could feel it just infusing in every cell of me. I felt it like a permanent shift into a next level of myself. And then the reality is going to match that. The clothes, the place we live, the way I work, everything is going to change. Because it is. I can see it now. It's the completion of the human self and the embodiment of the God self.
And in that whole big collective, I saw everybody choosing their next level for themselves, what it was. And so therefore the whole human self, it's almost like in the collective consciousness, it cracked open the human, whatever was remaining, dropped away, and everybody rose and shone more and more and more clear. And the more that it dropped away, the more others could see even further. And then before you knew it, we were all lifting off. So the collective consciousness, it took incredible bounds forward.
I found that when I activated that in myself, and part of it was I just asked for an experience of it, and then I amped up my own energy. In front of me, I could just feel, and it was all like little tiny lights, just billions, I guess, because it was by working on activating yourself, you activated every heart on the planet, or every being on the planet. And that was what was in front of me. All these little lights, which were each person on the planet. And then I had my first experience of what you've talked about. What do you talk about? The 100,000?
10,000 suns.
No, Celera's one.
The billions of infinite.
The Armada of
Yeah,
light.
I actually had an experience of it, and it just came over the whole of everything, just as all those lights just went into one huge white light, and it was like a huge ship just coming across everything, and it was every being on the planet activated as that.
Yes. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I felt, there was an airplane. I'm outside, and there was an airplane going overhead, and the rumbling of the airplane was kind of, vibrating every cell in my body, and it was kind of giving it a thorough shake, over, and then there was light completely, and then the birds started singing. So I think I think the shift was really kind of going through, from from that dense, heavy human concern to where you were all pointing me to. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, great.
And my experience of the bird chirping was I had this vision of Harpo Marx talking through a whistle. You remember? He used to whistle instead of talk, and it just sort of lightened everything up.
All right. Anybody else?
I felt the similar thing in the sense that the power that flowed through each one of us, it gave that sense of knowing that the ability to activate that in others was going to be so much easier now. That ripple effect of activation has amped up quite substantially, and that it'll be much easier for that activation to occur across the planet.
Did anybody do the collective unconscious?
Well, it happened automatically. I felt as we did it for ourselves, it just happened automatically. Because it feels like something has shifted on the planet. It actually feels like something's lighter.
Yeah. It was interesting back when we started. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Back when we started the call, I felt as well as we were moving the power at the very beginning. The whole thing that, is playing out in the U.S. with Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump. I felt this certainty that Trump would be that Sanders would be president, and that everything else was just the demise of the old. I don't know if you guys saw it. There's this wonderful video on Facebook by a psychic who talks about her prediction for the 2016 presidential election. It is priceless. Have you seen it?
I saw it. It was
No,
brilliant.
send it to us.
Oh, I'll have to see if I can find it. It is priceless. Here's this great woman. She's in her morning bathrobe with her hair all askew, and she's talking into the camera. And she starts talking about the whole thing. And what she says is, look, stop being all upset about this. There's no way Trump is going to win. We've already gone past that that's going to ever happen on the planet again. This is just a little play out just to show you that it's all done and gone. And it's really priceless what she says. So she never really predicts. She says exactly what's right to say, which is, I think, brilliant. So, yeah. But I feel like the more certainty we hold that with, again, it's the same kind of thing as we were talking to Shireen about. If we have a concern about anything, we power its play. And I think we're the holders of a new, gorgeous reality. And we just have to know that it is so, that what's emerging is this beautiful new beingness, this new conversation, and that whoever represents that is who's going to win the election. Period. It's just going to be that way, and yet we have to hold it in that sense. So, yeah, cool. Rishma, were you going to say something?
No, but I will now that you said. It's really interesting. It's like I can feel both the pieces of work that we've been doing all the way through, and a growing frustration, which is from the power that wants to come through. So it's like both of them are going in tandem. So I'm trying to move the power at the same time as moving all the work. And I definitely felt in the last piece like there were sparks of the new, like the new. It was like bursts of light of the different people on the planet as they came to their new self. But at the same time, the overriding feeling has been like a growing frustration or annoyance. And at first I started blaming things around because there are noises, and I don't think it is that. I think it is the power wanting to come through.
Do you think there's something we should do about that now altogether?
If we could, I think that would be great, yeah.
Okay, why don't we use you as the center point and you just guide us to whatever the work is. Okay, here we go. How was that, Ushma?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of energy moving. I'm really hot now. And it was almost like the earth cracked and there was this power coming through, and then it was like an old power, but not an old power, something that had been contained almost. And then there was a lighter, it's weird, like almost a complete juxtaposition, because then the energy that then came was very light, almost fairy-like light, that kind of energy.
Yeah, and for me it was like a huge rush of power. And then I think I've suddenly got it about sourcing future reality. I seem to be in a different place with it. So however that happened, I'm sure, Ushma, you were a part of creating all that, because I know you're really good at that. But I feel like I've fallen into that place where I now know exactly how to source the future reality that I want and that the world wants. There's like a certainty and a power and a beauty and a brilliance to it that just... there's no room for anything else other than the manifestation of that. And it's so interesting too, because I can see there can be no holdback. So if, as a silly example, I was just thinking about, we're about to buy a car, and do we buy a used car? Do we lease a car? Do we buy a new car? And I know exactly the car I want and the exact color I want, and it's brand new. And I just thought, I just need to go get it. That's it. And Centauri might go, what? Because I want a turquoise car. But I know exactly where to go to get it and to buy it, and we should buy a new one. And I just got it so clearly that it's the right thing to do, and it's part of this future reality. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What make of a car? What make?
Vauxhall Astra. Yeah, in turquoise.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, because it was so funny. I saw a car on the street. I thought that's the make of car I want, but I didn't know what it was. And I got home and Centauri said, let's get another Vauxhall Astra. That's what we currently have, that we've had for 20 years. I said, oh, I don't know. And then I went and looked on it online, and that was the car I saw. And then I was walking downtown the other day, and I saw it in the turquoise color that I want. There it is. Oh my God, they make it in my color. You know, it's like all the signs are pointing. So it's my logic that would say, oh, new car, a lot of money, more debt. But then the infinite me goes, screw it. Go have the perfect reality of everything that's right for the expression of your infinite self.
Yep.
So that's what I'm going to do. I shall send you a picture when we have it.
Yes.
And then show us your current driver's license.
Yes, I'm going to drive again too. I'm going to get my driver's license. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that was cool. That was amazing. I think, Ushma, what you might have felt as the frustration was the linking of the power to the reality creation. At least that's what it was for me. It was that, boom, they went together and just powered through. And that's what you're really good at, Ushma.
Yeah. I think it's also just the bullshit that goes on around, which is linked to fear-based creation. And so that some of the people that I'm dealing with at the moment with this house move, the person that I'm buying from is in so much fear, and she wants to complete immediately, and she's phoning me every 5 minutes, and I'm like, go away, you know. She's like, I've got so much interest I'm paying, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like stuff that's completely irrelevant if you're in your pure creation, like, you know, that doesn't come into it. And so it's like lots of little doggies yapping, and I'm like, oh, enough, quiet.
Well, yeah, you are the source of the whole thing. I can see you can just like, boom, you've just got it all and got her and got it, you know, just put it into power. That's brilliant. Yeah. I saw pictures of Ushma's new house. Oh my God, it's a mansion.
Show us all. Send us all pictures.
Okay, I will.
Oh my God, it's just amazing. With like 5 acres of land and a pond and just-
It's 1 acre of land.
oh, is it? Okay, 1 acre then, but still, that's huge.
It is huge.
To people who have a backyard, that's a huge thing.
It is huge.
Oh my God, it
Oh,
is
fantastic.
beautiful. Yeah, talk about like the dream house kind of thing. It's amazing. So yeah, I love it.
With that energy, it tied in a little bit with, I felt like the power really coming up in us, but then it activated again that heart resonance thing that I saw that 2 weeks ago, that somehow it amped up and fired through the heart resonance, which then makes sense to me because from that, with the clear heart space, there's where we create. So it's like it got us again more on the same level of a reality we will all create together. So it made sense in that way.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, I felt the flames coming from the heart, almost like a blowtorch. And then it turned into something quite soft and gentle. Once it
Yeah.
started.
And that emergence and that activation, as it wells and swells and becomes, it automatically takes care of the collective unconscious.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In both of these ways, I can't differentiate. The collective consciousness is us, and as we go, it goes, and everything goes. It's all one thing that is interplaying together. So yeah.
I would almost say it like there is only one reality, and that's this brand new one. And that those that are holding and sourcing that new reality must do so in the full power of themselves. Because we are the source of I've been calling it Future Fantastica. You know, like that's who we are. And any distraction from that isn't okay. That's why I keep getting really like, we really need to stay on the game fully and completely at the moment, because something really big is rolling into place. That's what it feels like. So yeah, exciting. I love it.
It's almost like from that energy from the 15th that landed on the 15th that promised the change of everything. It's almost like that's the energy powering this, because the two are just so much, like this is why we feel like it's really possible now. Yeah.
Didn't you say on one of the calls, Solera, that you said, I think you said around mid-May something, I think you forecast that as well, actually.
Did I?
On one of the calls.
I don't remember.
You did.
Oh, interesting.
You did. So there you go.
What did I say? I don't even remember.
I think you said something similar to that message. Is that and I think you might have even said the 15th. I don't know, but I think you did actually name a date, and it could have been the 15th. And you said something, the monumental shift, something will happen, and this is the date it'll happen. And you kind of said it very predictably.
Oh, well, I must have been channeling it.
I think it wasn't the last call, it was the call before that, I think.
Yeah.
And it was somewhere in the beginning of it. So
yeah. Well, to me, what happened from the middle of April till the middle of May has been extraordinary. I've never seen the like of it for myself, and I'm guessing it'll be that way for other people too. There's just something really extraordinary has happened that it just keeps showing up, you know. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Anything else we need to do before we wrap this one up?
Solera, can I have a few minutes with you after the recording is off, please?
Yeah.
If it's possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, everybody. Till next week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love ya.
Thank
Okay,
you,
then.
everybody. Love you.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Thank you.